before. Dipti is also with us here on set, as you can see, for a look through the papers. Going to start with billionaire hedge fund manager Jeffrey Epstein facing sexual abuse charges. Dipti.
That's right. He's pleaded not guilty to those charges of sex trafficking, conspiracy, and sex trafficking of dozens of underage girls dating back to 2002 to 2005, according to unsealed Manhattan federal court indictment. The details are pretty shocking. He's accused of enticing and recruiting underage girls to give him massages that turned into sex acts, and then also paying hundreds of dollars to the girls for each new victim procured. You can see it there on the front page of the Financial Times. The New York Times editors call these charges, quote, nauseating, but also a depressing echo of events in 2008 when Jeffrey Epstein agreed to a plea deal in which he pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor and registered as a sex offender in exchange for avoiding a federal indictment. Now, though, the Times says the time for secrecy and excuses and sweetheart deals is over. Mr. Epstein's victims have waited long enough for answers, and they deserve justice.
And you've also found quite a lot of focus, haven't you, Dipti, on what implications the case could have for other people as well.
Well, as The Guardian notes, Epstein is not just rich, but he also moved in high political and social circles, brushing shoulders with Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Prince Andrew. These men and their connections to Epstein could come under a spotlight. Trump famously described the financier as a terrific guy back in 2002 who loved beautiful women on the younger side. According to The Guardian, flight logs from Epstein's private jet also showed that Bill Clinton took 24 trips between 2001 and 2003, the same period from which these allegations have stemmed. For the American website Salon, the way the Epstein case is handled will be a crucial test of the Me Too movement's staying power. Obviously, all of this coming in the wake of the Me Too movement. Will there be long-term changes in how society deals with powerful men who are committing sexual abuses, or will all of this be swept under the rug? The case will also reveal whether Epstein's rich and powerful friends will also be outed as participants in that sex ring.
Different story now to South Africa. Cape Town has been gripped by soaring township violence. Well,
over the weekend, at least 11 people were killed in the Philippi township in Western Cape, prompting authorities to put the township under lockdown as a manhunt was launched. It's really a case of two different Cape Towns that we're seeing. You know, these gang wars are being waged just 30 minutes from the iconic landmarks that draws so many tourists to Cape Town each year. South Africa's second biggest city's murder rate has exploded by 60% in the last 10 years. An estimated 100,000 foot soldiers. In one case, a 12-year-old boy was killed by gangsters who riddled his body with so many bullet holes that, as the Times explains, the bullets fell out of him as the ambulance took him away. The lawlessness of the gang wars reflecting a broken criminal justice system, a lack of visible policing, and obviously fractured national politics.
Let's try and cheer you up after that one. Staff at an animal hospital in the UK, they thought they'd stumbled upon a rare bird, but it turned out to be a very different story.
That's right. Some passers-by had stumbled upon a bright orange herring gull on a highway in Buckinghamshire recently.
Wow.
They took the bird
it's like a phoenix.
They took the bird to the nearest animal rescue centre that's called the Tiggy Winkles Wildlife Hospital.
Aww.
Staff thought it was a rare orange bird. Turns out Vinny, which is actually short for Vindaloo, had gotten himself covered in curry, and it was preventing him from flying.
Wow.
They think he might have fallen into a dumpster where there was curry or turmeric powder or something like that. The bird's since been cleaned and restored to his much more normal white and grey plumage.
So good news for Vinny then, but another bird has stolen his thunder. This is the dancing Cockatoo Snowball, making the front page at the Times today.
That's right. Snowball the cockatoo actually went viral 12 years ago after being filmed head-bopping to the Backstreet Boys. Since then, he's also danced to Another One Bites the Dust, and girls just want to have fun. Let's see if we can show you some of those images there. It's quite impressive. It is. I love how they've named his dance steps as well.
Yeah.
That's why he's making news today. He's actually, since 2007, he's been the focus of researchers because he's not just dancing, but he's actually dancing in step.
Yeah.
So they wanted to know if he was just imitating humans, but they've actually concluded that birds like him are capable of sophisticated cognitive control and a level of creativity almost unheard of in the animal kingdom, because Snowball does not dance for mating purposes or for food. He's dancing to interact with his human caregivers and reinforce social bonds. They've counted that he's got about 14 pretty slick dance moves that'll put a lot of us to shame, no doubt.
You need to watch that back, Dipti, because you have no idea how ridiculous you looked with that bird dancing around on the screen.
Does it look like I have feathers coming out of my hair?
Very cool, very cool. Thanks a lot. Dipti with the papers and Stephen with business of France 24.